Kristen. Hopefully ours does too. There we go.
Kristen's is live.
We are live.
We are fucking live.
Awesome. Woohoo!
All right,
Thank you,
Kristen,
chat,
you
for
good on
hanging in
you?
there. Appreciate that. Yeah.
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 Thank y'all. Modern
All right.
technology.
I know. Isn't it
Isn't it lovely?
wonderful?
It is amazing.
Gil, I'm feeling, I got my dancing shoes on.
I feel like
Got your
jamming.
dancing shoes on?
I want a tippy tap.
We
Give
need to
me a
pump up the
beat.
jam.
Does somebody want to announce this like world premiere? I feel like Kristen, I almost feel like you should.
Oh,
Go ahead,
goodness.
Kristen.
Yeah. World premiere. Beer, Booze, and Boogeymen has received its very first original theme song. It's cool. This is from Air Force One in the chat.
Yes.
Roll the record.
You got a story. We want to hear it, yes or not. We will with you with. Do your best to make us look foolish. We'll listen to them all, no matter how ghoulish. Truth or trash. Truth or trash. If the story is real, it's something we'll feel. If we feel it's not true, you get a big F-U. Truth or trash. Truth or trash. Thanks for tuning in. Now let the games begin. Truth or trash. Truth or trash. Truth or trash. Truth or trash.
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Air Force One. That's
Thanks
a
for
banger.
tuning in. Now let the games begin. Truth or trash. Truth or trash.
Woo.
That's a banger, dude.
It really
It
is.
Heck
is.
That was
yeah.
fucking rad. Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to that normally. That's a
Right?
good song.
Air Force One. Shout out, man.
Much appreciated.
Awesome.
Yes.
Hell
Mhm.
yeah.
Huge shout out to you, man.
Yeah. Well, welcome back, guys. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
That feels like forever.
It's been
Yeah.
A
I
whole
barely know
month.
you guys anymore.
Mhm. So much has changed in my life since the last time we had an episode. Yeah.
you didn't have a beard last time.
Right.
Has it been years since we've been together?
yeah.
Yeah, my face was shaved last time. I feel like
yeah.
Did you fall into a
About to write-
coma at some point?
I'm
What
about to write some
happened?
commandments or something.
Yeah.
Well, what are
So,
we
guys,
doing
this is
tonight?
episode 5. This is episode number 5. Gil, what are we doing?
Yeah. So this week we are playing a little game called Truth or Trash. And I think we can kick it off here with some of our own personal stories, maybe like 2 examples on our end, and then 2 examples to kind of reserve for later in the show between us hosts. The rules are pretty simple. You call in, tell us your story, and you stay on the line. This is the important part. You need to stay on the line after you tell us your story.
Yep.
And then we take a vote, including not just us hosts, but anybody down in the chat. And so basically, if it's 5 people voting and you get 3 in favor of it being a true story, then it goes to true. Or if you get 3 in favor of being trash, it goes to trash. And then you tell us, was it a complete and utter bold-faced lie, or really was it an unbelievable story? So that's
Mhm.
pretty much, it's a big fish, but it's a game show. Anybody that guesses wrong has to obviously take a drink. I mean, that's the simple part. So that'll help us find the perfect level of discretion and inebriation.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah, we're trusting you. You be honest at home now. Get your
Mhm.
drink ready. An alcoholic or not, you're either going to be very
Yeah.
drunk or very hydrated. Doesn't matter to us, but you got to take a drink.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
If you
both.
are,
Or take a toke.
if you're
Take.
right.
I know some folks that are California sober. You know, like take a toke anytime you get it wrong. So
Hmm.
That's a lot. Well, yeah, I've been excited about this show. It's different than our regular speed, something different, something fun, and I'm
Mhm.
very excited to hear these stories. I hope people got some crazy stories, whether true or not. I'm excited.
We will find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What y'all drinking tonight? Let's set it off.
Joey, go for it.
Okay, so I've got a smattering of drinks around here. So I'll go with my non-alcoholic first. So just a nice water, Nalgene bottle for hydration.
I thought that was a jar of pickles.
No,
I was like,
my jar of pickle water.
Uh,
My nice, of course, dehydrating Mexican Coke. Got to have that to mix to keep me energized. I have too much of that tonight, as the other hosts can attest, as I walked off and screamed for a second before the show. And then my alcoholic beverage tonight is a Cosmic Little Thing IPA by Sierra Nevada, which is actually in Asheville and also in Chico, California, too. The two ones. So it's my
Nice.
drink. How about you, Kristen?
I got the Trickster IPA by Black
Mm.
Raven. I don't think I've ever had this one before. It's a very crisp 6.9%. It's gonna do me right tonight. D.
well, I can never find anything, so I just said, the hell with it. I'm just going to drink energy drinks tonight, so I went with Ghost Energy.
nice.
But I'm out of it, so I actually found something.
Oh,
Whoa!
oh,
It's
what?
called UFO. Welcome to Raswell. It is a
Nice.
wheat beer with raspberry, and I haven't cracked it open yet, so hopefully it's not bad.
Raspberry beer. Good. Yes.
There
okay.
is no raspberry taste, but it doesn't taste bad, so we're good. We're good.
Maybe you're supposed to shake it.
Yeah.
There's also no.
It's already open, and look, there's
Yeah.
even like a little
Just-
raspberry alien
Is
face
this
on it.
a-
Check that out.
Is it a weather balloon? What is that?
I don't think there's any raspberries in Roswell, so I mean, it kind
Roswell.
of makes sense, I guess.
All right, go for it, Gil.
Yeah. So I have the Hop Avenger IPA, which is a Voodoo Ranger line of beer.
Mhm.
It's excellent for if you want the police to think that you've been carrying around 20 pounds of weed, because the second you crack it open, it tastes like weed. It straight
Wow.
up tastes like weed. And they somehow managed to make it not taste like trash and still taste like weed, which is just incredible. But yeah, the first time that I had it, I literally set it down. I was like, what the it hit. I was having flashbacks to my youth.
That's some dank beer. I've
Right.
got Steve from Nocturnal Frequency Radio in my chat tonight, and he could probably give us all some pointers and some good suggestions for some great dank paranormally based IPAs. He is a beer connoisseur, so
Nice.
to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
got some good stuff on his IG.
In our YouTube chat for BCR, we have Air Force One going with the tried and true Dank Dust. Dank Dust.
Damn.
So
Dank
that's
Dust.
nice. Heck yeah, keep trying it. We'll have to try that one too.
Mhm.
Oh.
We
So
do
who's
really
going
need dank
first?
dust.
I need more time to come up with. Remember my story.
I'll vote
Somebody
Joey.
else.
Hint.
Okay.
Me?
Yep,
Gil?
I'll vote Joey.
Gil?
Joey.
Oh
Joey
my
had
god,
excited
I'm
eyes.
kind of the one to
We're
go
all
last,
nervous.
But,
It's not like we all haven't done shows over 100 times, but
Right.
now that we're on the spot, we're like, I don't know how to tell a story on air. What are you talking about? This is crazy.
I mean, maybe it was just, all that excitement, nervous excitement earlier. I don't know. I don't really get nervous anymore, but
Do y'all hear
fireworks do. Apparently, fireworks happen
Apparently in my backyard. I'm in a soundproof studio and it's coming in through my
Not a drive by.
I do think I might pay somebody in the future. And this is for folks for later. In the future, I might pay somebody just like $20 to walk by in the background while we're recording in Joey's background, just in a Bigfoot suit, just looking casually. The whole time I'm looking at him, I'm just looking in the bottom corner like any fucking second.
Right.
Bigfoot's just gonna be like
Just randomly pop in.
Yeah, and it
Joey's
would work
like, I don't
too.
have any stories. Bigfoot's walking.
Yeah. It would work too.
Nothing
Gil
ever
actually
happens
lives
to me.
5 minutes from my house, so literally we could pay one of our friends to do it, or he could pay Bigfoot theirself to come in and just
Exactly.
I can't
walk through the
afford
background.
that. He's
But yeah,
expensive.
they are a good couple grand an hour.
Yeah. Who's got that?
Yeah. I don't know if you guys also wanted to talk about episode 6 or if we want to go straight into it.
It's up to you, bud.
Yeah, why don't you give us episode 6 here, and then we'll launch into stories.
Cool. All right.
Because
Well,
it's all you, buddy.
it is. This is my episode to plan. So, we'd all been talking about it, and I had no ideas for anything to do an episode 6 on because, I just don't ever have any ideas and not creative and, things about like that. And I was just sitting there. And as you do, you usually wait till the last minute. Who doesn't do that? Everybody else
that.
does better stuff. You do that? Okay.
Wait till the last minute? Yes.
Okay. That's what I do. And some of my best ideas come out at the last minute because I'm just like seriously stressed out beyond belief. Well, for episode 6, I wanted to go into a kind. It's not really a different direction for us, but another topic that as we're only on episode 6, so we got a million different ways to go. So episode 6 is going to be theories on tap, your favorite conspiracies. So one of the big things that I love is history, and my favorite thing is to hear historical ones, but these don't have to be historical conspiracies, right? So you don't have to say George Washington is buried in a crypt beneath the U.S. Capitol or Napoleon is a reptilian, anything like that.
We know that.
You
stuff.
can-
Yeah.
It's all truth. Just like the truth or trash tonight. We want you to bring all your conspiracies. So anything on Earth. And I want to say anything on Earth because if you bring a moon conspiracy to any of us or on this episode, you will see the angriest I can ever be. You will not see a nice person the whole episode because I cannot take any more moon conspiracies. I've had it up to, you can't even see my hand. I've had it up to there of conspiracies. Okay. So any other conspiracy that you have, bring your favorite one or make up one. I would love to hear if you made up a conspiracy there and gave it to us. We are looking for any of those. So that'll be episode 6.
All right. What's it called again?
Heck yeah.
Theories on tap. Your favorite
I think you're making this
conspiracies.
up as you go along.
No,
Theories
don't.
on tap.
I actually wrote it down, and that's kind of all the stuff we talked about on
Okay,
our pre-production meetings.
I'm gonna
It would
vote
be
trash.
If I hey, if I made this up, I'd feel really good about myself. But I didn't make this up as I went. I typed it about 5 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
So,
very cool.
let's-
Looking forward to it.
July
Let's
6th.
go into our first story. July 6th. Yep. So it is. Please make up U.S. conspiracy theories for July 4th. Please make them up and give them to us. We would love that. And somebody's just celebrating July 4th a little early in Gil's backyard. So
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Alright.
So I'm gonna give the first story. A little bit less long-winded than what I just gave. So when I was around like 8 or 9, I think must be about 1996, I lived in Virginia, like small town in Virginia, right? So across the street, we had woods surrounding a pond that was like right across from our house, about 0.25 miles away, about a half mile away, about. And the pond was usually full of water moccasins. So freaking hate snakes. All my life I've hated snakes. Those don't really have to do with the story. They're just were around the pond. But so I always walk through, making careful. I wasn't sure I wasn't stepping on any of them or that they came out on land. And we also had wild dogs that ran around the neighborhood that would attack the llamas down the street from our house. It was pretty bad. It was actually really sad. And I think they actually killed one or two of the llamas. Well, I really like to go back in the woods and just walk around and see what I could find, because there was woods right behind the pond, and I would just go back there as a kid, and that's kind of what I did. This is before cell phones, really. For me, it was before cell phones, so I would never have a cell phone on me, so I just come back around 5 or 6 p.m. just to eat, watch TV, whatever the thing was on. So the area behind there was pretty calm most of the time, as well as it's like a normal subdivision. It was about 15 houses on about a mile road. So I was going back behind the pond one day, and I saw just this little small animal bone sticking up out of the ground, right? It was animal, so really wasn't too worried about it, but it was pretty interesting because I really hadn't seen like small animal bones sticking out of the ground. So I just kept walking, and I just kept walking the same way, and I saw another bone. And it was pretty easy to see that something had just left like bones that had been eating, maybe a coyote, a wild dog that like goes after the alpacas or something like that. So I was a little bit like, nope. Okay, maybe I should be careful and listen to things. I didn't have music going on at the time, didn't have headphones on because you had CD Walkmans at this time. And honestly, if you walk for like 2 feet, they would skip like that. So I wouldn't
They
listen
were
to
the
music.
worst. Yeah.
They were the worst. You couldn't run or do anything. So
Nope.
So I just kept walking that way and walking and get to this kind of like it was a small clearing, which I had not seen before, even though I'd been in this area a good amount of times. I could remember that on one side of the clearing, there was a small path through the grass, like something had been running through there. You can always tell when it's in like a clearing and there's like a bunch of tall grass around, and you're just like, okay, there's a spot where an animal's been running through, right? You can see like the grass has been over, it's pretty easy to tell. Probably what I thought was like a coyote or something dog-like. Well, there's a bunch of small animal bones littered around this clearing. And at that moment, I started going, okay, this is getting a little creepy. I was like 8, so I slowly started backing out of the clearing back to where I'd like come from. And I started hearing these really, really, really weird noises coming from the other side of the clearing where there was a path, right? So I could see over there, but I couldn't see anything. Even though it was still, a little daylight, it was a little dark in there. It was kind of hard to see. Couldn't put my finger on the sounds. I couldn't say that it was like a dog. I couldn't say that it was like a bear. But it was kind of big. So it was 8 again, so I couldn't gauge the size of anything. And as I remember, I pretty much started hauling ass down the path where I had come from, which was easy to find since I'd just come back through there. And the grass was like nice and matted down for my footsteps. And I ran as fast as I could through the woods, around the pond, and back out to the yard and over the road and back to my house. I don't remember if I heard anything coming behind me or chasing me, but to this day, I still remember that little clearing. And honestly, I never went back that way again because I didn't want to find out if something was there that could have eaten me, killed me, or maybe sacrificed me to the gods. I don't know. And that I just never went back in that area. I stayed away, and it just was a weird happenstance from when I was young. End of story.
And
Yeah.
you'll never know what was creating the growl. What was the sound? What was the animal?
I gotta
Go ahead, Gil. Sorry.
go. No, please go ahead.
Oh, honestly, it sounded in a mix between a bear and like a coyote. I mean, it didn't sound like it was like a coyote, but it sounded a mix between something dog-like and something bear. It didn't sound like a werewolf. It didn't sound like a werewolf, okay?
It
just
was a
sounded like
man bear
something
coyote.
It sounded like something growling at me with like a real low thing, not a dog and not a bear. I couldn't put my finger on it, and I'm not very good at making noises, as Gil can attest. I'm not very good at making noises. It would just sound like Matthew McConaughey in a bear voice or something. So I'm not even going to try to make the noise, but it scared me so bad Yeah, it's true. It scared me so bad I never went over there in that area again, and I just was like, I don't know what it was. Don't know if it was supernatural. I mean, obviously I didn't see anything, so I don't know what it was. Could have been a bear, but it just scared me so bad because I was 8, and yeah, you just don't do that. Let's go back in those areas when you're young. You know?
I got a question then.
Mhm.
Harry Carey said, "Joey's BCR origin story?" Question mark. That's awesome.
Does that mean how I became interested in the
Yes.
paranormal? I
Yeah.
don't know. I'd honestly forgotten about it until recently, until I was thinking about it, because you don't, when you're young, you don't really remember things. So you don't it's not something that happens every day. So you just don't think about it. And I don't think about that now, until we started going what are stories that we could tell? What are things that happened to us when we were young? So this was one of those things I was like, shit. Should probably tell that. I don't honestly have, again, like you joked about, I don't have a lot of stories that I can go through, besides seeing a UFO at Brown Mountain Lights or seeing a UFO at our friend's house in November 2020. So
Okay. All right. How do we
Okay.
want to handle this one? Is this just with the host, or should we hand it over to the chats?
I think a little bit of both. So I would throw out there to anybody in BCR Chatland or in any of the other Chatlands. Let's get a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Any questions that you have for Joey? I say we give it a couple minutes. Do you think that his story was truth or trash? Do you think? And I want to clarify too ahead of time. Trash means any part of the story was fabricated. It can't be a 90% truth and an actual that does not make a truth. And as we all know, because we've all seen politics, the best lies are 2/3 truths. So and we're not respecting that here. So if we can get some thumbs up or some thumbs down, some emojis of trash cans or angel wings, whatever y'all want to do to give a thumbs up and thumbs down, I will be keeping tally on my handy dandy notepad.
All right,
right
chat.
there.
Thumbs up if you think it's true. Thumbs down if you think it's trash. If you have any questions, pop them into the chat. We'll throw them out there for Joey.
And we're gonna go fast here, so it's going to just be over the next few minutes, and then we're gonna call it because we have 3 hosts that are sitting out, which means there will be a tie-breaking vote. So but yeah, Damien, jump on it,
Damien.
How often did you go back there before this happened?
Ooh.
I would imagine I went at least once a week, and I went different ways. So it was you could go through this little area around the pond to go into the woods, or you can go to the left and go around the pond. And if you keep going back, there's a main highway. So you wouldn't go that far on the left side, but I'd keep just going every different way. So about once a week, and that was for about 6 months, I would say, that I was doing that. And and this was that was the last time I was like, no, thank you. I would not go to that area anymore. I just kept going to the left. So, and I had a friend down the street that kind of was like, let's go somewhere else. And we went down to the woods by the llamas where the wild dogs were, which is even better.
So what time of day did you say this happened at?
This was I'd go back home at 5 or 6 p.m. So this was maybe 4-ish.
Okay. What time of year was it?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I would say it wasn't fall. It was definitely summer, because I didn't go out a lot during the fall or the winter because it was too cold. So probably summer. It's when I usually went out.
Harry Carey said, behavior panelists are watching Joey, looking up to the left to recall. Damn. Damn.
Behavior panelists. Oh yeah, we got people looking at all of our
Little do they know, our videos are mirrored.
Oh, I guess they are. Maybe, yeah. Looking up to the left and right.
So he's looking up to the right, but he's looking up the stage left, which is actually his right, which is actually
left.
Yeah, we saw past your planning, Harry Carey.
Leading up to this episode, it reminded me of that show that Lied to Me. You guys ever watch that? I was trying to think because he's like an expert at like seeing and sensing lies and the things that
Oh.
people do. It's so good. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, is that true?
So-
If they look to the left, yeah, go ahead.
How old did you say you were?
1996 about.
Okay.
I was born in 88, so.
I'm going to be honest. Off the bat, I was incredibly suspicious because you said that you saw strange bones sticking out of the ground. And as somebody who grew up spending, my before 12 years, like every time, I moved away from kind of like out in the country when I was like 13. So
Yeah.
my early childhood was spent roaming around woods and fields and shit like that too. I don't know a single random bone I ever saw sticking out of the ground that I didn't immediately run over to and yank out with like the ferocity of just God. Just like, oh my God, what is this? Just like ants crawling all over me. So I'm going to never.
It was much
Yeah.
more fun.
Yeah. I could see you'd be walking on the sidewalk, the tall grass would touch your leg. You'd be like, ew, I 100% could see that. But knowing that about you, but that also explains a lot of like, hey, you and me, besties for life, but like we are completely diverged when it comes to those types of behaviors. I'm gonna give a thumbs up. I'm gonna say I think it's true.
Okay.
I also think I know what it was, but
Okay. You guys want to vote?
D-Booze,
Yeah.
K-Booze, anybody in our chats? I got another thumbs up from Hair Force, our official musician for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a person from Germany in my chat, Parsival. He would vote, but he says he's had too much beer.
That's literally that's why you should be here.
He followed up. It's true. He says it's
Okay.
true.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
got a bunch of trues.
Okay.
Okay.
How many more
So
do
we got
you
another
want?
true. Well,
Makes believe thing.
all right.
Little. You said were the math real good. And I know that. Yeah.
Why did why did oh, what?
Up in less than a
Oh,
month.
man.
But the beard seven.
That I nervousness. And a lot of for you. So it's a lot. I am. All right. Predicted. True.
You too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Is it truth
Are you
or
guys ready?
trash?
We
You
were
guys
ready.
ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's trash.
I fucking knew you.
The
I
one
should have
who
known
knows
when
me
we went
best.
when we went camping and you literally yelled out. You literally yelled out, "I always lie. I lie about everything." I was the season. I'm taking a sip. The season didn't make any goddamn sense because actually what you described sounded more like rutting season. Like that sound actually sounds way the fuck closer to a very pissed off and territorial buck.
Yep.
But seasons didn't match up, but I was gonna give you the benefit of the doubt around you were
A
8.
long time
Um,
ago, yeah. It's
but
kind of how I
yeah,
wanted to
that's
portray it, is that I was young and it
you
didn't
did good.
a lot of
You did
stuff wasn't
good.
messing with it. But hey,
You did
Damien, Kristen,
Mhm.
you guys, the
I
guy who
remember-
knew me most said said truth,
I-
and
I
that's
re-
bad and
I
sad. I'm sorry,
remember
Gil.
the
I
other
lied to
the
you.
other thing that that
okay.
made me
I
think
just
it
trust
might
you.
not have been true that like sent up my red flags was this was
Yeah.
a lot of bones that you just
Mhm.
kind of stumbled over
Excuse
in the woods. Do you know how rare it is? Thanks to Sasquatch research, do you know how rare it is to actually stumble
Yeah.
across any animal bones out in the wilderness, the woods, what have you? It's very, very rare. That was a lot. Just poking up out the earth.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
1996.
Good story,
Year of the
though.
bones.
The year of the
You're the
bones.
bones. Oh,
Very
Thank
good
you.
story.
And I want to apologize. I'm sorry I lied to everybody. I don't like it. It doesn't feel good. But I wanted to start off with a lie. I actually had two
bastard.
stories. I had a truth and a lie, and I had to decide which one I wanted to say, and the trash was the beginning. So,
It's not the first time you've lied to me, dude. I don't really take it that
oh,
hard.
he is.
I'm fucking-
Gil is really mad.
Just my camera settings again and turn my face red. Well, y'all, we did hit the half-hour mark. Do we want to open up the
Yeah.
lines for people
Yeah,
to call
let's-
in, and then
Yep.
we can trickle through our own stories in between? All right.
For
Mhm.
sure. I know we got a couple of people in the chats. I'm looking forward to you calling in. I'm expecting you to. Because we've talked before. I know you from my life, and I know you guys are good storytellers, man. And you have some
Mhm.
very exciting lives too. So, truth or
Mhm.
trash? I'm excited.
Just let me
Yep.
give it.
I'm
it's
excited
just,
to tell mine because I think y'all are going to be. I think y'all are going to be hard to guess mine.
Oh, all right.
I'm excited for it too.
Yes. Yes. Did you want to go next, Ebooz?
I can.
Yeah.
I can.
Okay. All right. Well, we wait on our first caller. Be brave, guys. Take part in the fun in the game.
Yeah.
Let me throw that
call
number
in
out there.
anytime you want. Oh, yeah.
208-717-1611 is that number. Parsival, he says he cannot call in because their English is not very good. I
Aw.
mean, I think we can, we can deal if you would like
Mhm.
to,
Yep.
we can deal with
if
it.
he promises, 100%, and this is something we actually are working on
Mhm.
towards the future, is getting live translation set up on the show, because
Yep.
fuck being limited to just one language in this
Yeah.
day and age.
Mhm.
But I would throw out there as an offer to our German guest, if they want to fire over a quick email of their story,
Yep.
right, to the Beers Booze Boogeymen email, or to the Paranorm Girl, any of our emails,
Mhm.
and if they'll stick on the line, we'll read it and it'll get submitted into the show. So
Yep.
Yeah,
I don't know.
please.
This is an
feel
option.
free.
This is an option.
Take your time to write it out. If you want us to do it, we can still do that.
Yep.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
And my email, if you want to send it to me, it's paranormgirlpod@gmail.com. It should be down in the notes. All right, D. Go for it.
All right. So, you guys have heard a lot of my stories, even before the show. But this is one that I actually just thought about today. I was like, I don't think I've told that yet, and it's really interesting. So, growing up, the place we used to frequent as teenagers that really got me in to the paranormal was this cemetery that was nicknamed Werewolf Springs. Um, Long story short about the cemetery, there was a circus train traveling through in like the late 1800s. It derailed. Supposedly, some of the animals got loose, and there was word that one of them was supposedly a werewolf. The werewolf like raised havoc in the woods, killed people and shit. Don't know how true that part is, but that's how it got its nickname of Werewolf Springs. Um, so, like I said, we would frequent the cemetery pretty much every weekend. That's where we went instead of being out partying or going to football games, shit like that. We went to the cemetery. And one night, it was just myself, Keith, and his girlfriend at the time. And we're at the entrance of the cemetery. At night, they would close the gate, so we always had to jump the gate to get in. So we're at the gate, getting ready to get in there. And at the very back of the cemetery, and it's not a very big cemetery, it's kind of like a family cemetery. It's not very big at all. We see at the very back, like this tall, like white figure standing at the back of the cemetery. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I look over at his girlfriend. She's like, yeah, I see that too. And I'm like, what exactly do you see? And she, tall white figure. And so we jump the fence trying to get closer to this thing. And by the time we get over the gate and stuff, it had disappeared. So I don't know if it was just a random, you know, blanket of fog, or we saw a fucking ghost standing back there, or a big tall Yeti, but it was, I don't know what it was. And tripped me out. And this is on the way over here, that popped in my head. I was like, I need to talk about this. I've never talked about that. Like, it was one of those ones that stuck out to me, but it didn't stick with me.
Hmm.
Like, like some of my other stories did. So it was, I don't really know what it was. And we went back, I don't know how many times after that, we never saw it again.
Hmm.
So I
Hmm.
don't know, like I said, if it was just a random pocket of fog, or we actually seen something stick. Because there was also rumors that there was like some kind of weird fucking cult in the woods too. So it was a lot of
Every
stories from
town's
this.
got that.
Right. So, a lot of stories from this cemetery, and we experienced a lot of weird shit out there, and that was one of them. So, yeah, that's my story.
Hmm. Can I ask the first question?
Yeah,
How tall was the fence that you guys jumped?
it wasn't actually a fence; it was just a gate, but we still had
Okay.
to either climb over it or climb under it. It was just a random bar like gate, but we
Okay.
couldn't actually drive back there at night, so we either had to crawl under it or hop over it.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. People in the chat, we're going to start the timer now. So, truth or trash? What do you think of Damien's story here? Thumbs up, thumbs down. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat and we'll ask. I have a question. What
Mhm.
was Keith's girlfriend's name?
Her name was Nikki.
Nikki. Okay.
I think it's trash.
Oh, he's going right ahead of time. No
Yep.
questions.
Jump right
No
in.
questions.
questions.
Werewolf
Wow.
Springs? Are we
Google
just
it,
gonna
sir.
are we gonna overlook the circus werewolf that killed people in the woods?
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Can I be honest
Did
about
you
this?
Google Werewolf Springs?
It's a real place.
I believe that it's a real place. And we will do an episode on it.
Mhm.
But
I had to sorry Damien. I had to look it up and see if it was real. And it's an actual real place. So it's really cool.
Jeez.
Damien, at some point, Damien, you have told us your origin story, right? And you were just saying this is one of your earliest stories. I'm like, it's suspicious. It's suspicious, man. I don't know.
I don't know. You'll find out in a minute.
Gil's also mad because he said truth to mine, so he has to be the opposite on this
It's
one.
true. I'm just gonna get fooled by everybody all night.
Oh
Kristen?
man. I have my mind made up on this one, D. So I will say a werewolf springs and the story of a werewolf killing the locals and the story of a local cult living in the woods and, sacrificing people. That is such a Southern goddamn thing.
That's true.
It's true. Your story is true. What a neat detail.
I am going for truth
All
because I
right.
think it's true. I saw it in your eyes. I was looking into your eyes the whole time, just into those dreamy, beautiful eyes. I was just watching
Just big
and
brown
just seeing
puddles.
if they blinked once, if they blinked twice. I know it's not true, but I did not see you blink once. I am saying truth. What does the chat say?
Oh, anybody in the
Got any
chat want to
votes in the
throw
chat?
a thumbs up or thumbs down? What you think? True or not? Fact or cap? Damien's short story, but good story.
Mhm.
Mhm. I don't have any takers on my end.
1 second.
There's also a delay too.
True.
I think
True. So we got one
we
true.
should keep that in mind.
Bigfoot Club. Bigfoot Club. One true so
Bigfoot
far.
Club. Shout out Bigfoot Club.
Mhm.
Bigfoot Club thinking it's true. I'm over here just slowly ruining my reputation for discretion.
I'm just staring deeply into this chat right now.
We've got somebody tuning in from Canada. Thank you so much for jumping on,
Oh, thank you.
YC.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And a shout out again to, or just kind of bringing this up again. Feel free to call in at any
Yep.
point in time with your own truth or trash story. Try to trick us. I
Mhm.
am down in my votes. Everybody else is up on their end right now. So, this is a game for everybody. Call in, tell us your story. And, if you want to, start that off by asking Damien questions directly about his story. Right. And following up with his tale and voting on truth or trash. Right now, we are at 1 down vote, 3 up votes. So only got a couple minutes left.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Damien is he's a very good storyteller too.
So
And
wholesome.
you're right. I don't know if he ever blinks, so it's just like constant, like staring into your soul. He never breaks eye
Mhm.
contact, and it just makes it
Mm-mm.
all the more
Never.
believable. Yeah,
Dang,
if you're
Cole.
lying to me,
What?
Damien, right now.
Hey, look, I have a lot of rad stories from Werewolf Springs, and that's just one of them.
Okay. All right.
Captured our very first EVP at Werewolf Springs.
Hmm.
Sounded like a little girl saying good morning.
Okay. All right. Shall we
That was
tally the
just
final
Wendy
votes?
from
That was
Wendy's. Good morning.
Horse. All right.
All right.
Well, I am good on my end. Christian, you got any
Yep.
more votes coming in?
Nope. Nope. We're good.
All right. Truth or trash, Damien?
All right, so it does involve
Truth
my
or
best friend
trash,
Keith.
Damien?
I'm getting there. Calm your tits, Gil. So it does involve my best friend Keith, and out of respect for him, I'm not going to tell any lies involving him. So it is true.
The fuck.
Kristen,
Drink it up,
2 and 0. Kristen.
Sheesh. I'm doing great.
Gil 0 and 2. Yeah. And this is his game too.
I'm misvoting just because I'm thirsty at this point. I'm just
Yeah, sympathy drink here.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
But yeah, it was really fucking weird. We couldn't figure out what it was. And by the time we actually got to where we could start walking back there, it was gone.
Man.
Not a clue what it was.
And it looked like just a very large figure.
You're right.
Mhm.
It did.
Is that right? Okay.
Large and like white. Like it was almost like I said, like a wall of fog, but like it was shaped like a figure. It was weird.
Damien, I voted truth because this just sounds like a you story. Like it just sounds
Kinda
like something
does.
that would happen
Yeah.
to you. And so I was like, this is and besides Keith, I think that I just looked at you and I was like, this just sounds like so much something that would happen to you. in this, when you get over there, it's gone. You're just like, dang it, we almost got it.
Right.
You know, because most people will be like, let's leave right now. This is pretty creepy. So
Right.
if you had
Yeah.
said you left, then I'd been like, this is trash. This is trash. He would
Mm.
never leave after seeing that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's leaping
That's
over
true.
fences and everything, running through cemeteries
All
to
sorts
get
of
to the ghost.
crazy shit.
Right.
All sorts of crazy
Yeah.
shit. So I don't know if y'all can see that. It's probably super tiny on y'all screens. Our phone number is 208-717-1611. Break out your phone. Why don't y'all have this number saved yet as a contact? It is 208-717-1611. Again, if you still need it. No, we're waiting for you. We really want to hear your voice. 208-717-1611. Call in and tell us your craziest tale, true or false.
Mhm.
Maybe Gil will get one right.
Take part. Well, we move on to the next host. I might be ready.
Okay.
I don't know. But
Can we-
anybody
can
who wants
we-
to call,
Oh.
go ahead. Oh, I was going to say